So that was when I met.
Is that like the first time that you noticed me?
Yeah.
Like when we were in that group working on that orientation project together.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's my. I feel hurt now, yo. I feel hurt because I like always thought that it was like love at first sight, the both of us, like we just.
But I
looked
first
and
have
we
to
knew.
cite you, so I didn't cite you. Oh my god.
What's up, guys? I'm Alano,
And I'm Khanya.
and in today's video we're gonna talk about the first time that we met.
How we met.
So it's story time.
Story time. Sorry guys, this is our second time shooting this already.
Yeah.
So if we look tired and like not okay, you know what?
I forgot to turn the sound on in the second clip.
Don't you feel like we only ever shoot when we look trash? We're like, yeah, start rolling, this is it.
But this is about how we met, which there are two versions. There's the
Yes.
PG version and then there's the...
Baby, I was gonna say there's your version, there's my version, and then there's the truth. But okay, our parents watch hair. Amen. Okay.
There's Kanye's version, there's my version.
No,
and
it's
then
too late
there's
for that
the
now.
truth.
No, it's too late for
never
that.
too late. It's never too late.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So what had happened is that at the time I was 21 years old. And I had just been I think modeling for about I'd been a commercial model for about 2 and a bit, maybe 3 years. And then I decided that I need to get back to university and actually get my degree. And I actually was doing a triple major at UCT in philosophy, French, and psychology. I was miserable. I was miserable. So I ended up talking to my mom and she was just like, okay, cool, we'll be this miserable. Change. Pick it right this time.
Pick it right this time because
right.
it might be the last time.
Because this is it.
Yeah.
And let's do this again. So then I decided, because I was already acting and I'd been in a few films as well as series, I was like, let me continue on in this industry because it makes me happy.
Yeah.
And
you're already starting to do well in it, so... Oh, my bad. Sorry.
So I was just like, let me go get my degree in that. Let me go get a filmmaking degree, specializing in acting. So I went to a film school. That's when I met this guy. Because when I got there, I was already anxious because I'm just not naturally a very charismatic person, and I don't think that I make friends easily, and I don't fit in easily. So I was super just nervous. And then when I got there, something that I hadn't really thought about happened, which is that I get there and it's a bunch of 17 and 18-year-olds. And I mean, I was young. I was like 21, 22. So I was young, but I felt the age difference.
Because there is a big difference between 18 and 22.
But also there's a big difference between someone who has had a career and has been living away from home and all of these things that I've been doing.
You lived in Paris for a while as well.
Yeah, but also I was a boarding school kid. You know what I mean? These people were fresh out of their home. Their parents went around for the first time, so they were drinking and smoking and just
and generally just super pumped up for life.
As they should be, because that's kind of how you are when you leave high school and go to uni.
Yeah.
And they were just trying to be cool and friendly and just do their own thing. And I just that was not me. That never has been me. Even when I left high school, I didn't go do rage and all the other stuff that everyone else did.
Yeah.
I just kind of did my own thing and then decided to go on a gap year. Yeah. And then
everyone went to rage and you were like, I'm going to Paris.
Yeah, but that wasn't a plan. Rage was happening, and in the middle of that I was like, hey mom, what about, hear me out, follow me, Paris. Yeah. And she's like, what? We don't... Okay, fine.
I love that about you.
She's so cool. About me.
About you and about her.
I was gonna say my mom.
Cool and random as you can be, your mom is just as cool and random, just in a mom way, and you're in a daughter way.
Yeah. So,
in that relationship.
So yeah, and then one of the weeks we got put into these things where we had to do a skit, a silhouette puppet skit thing, and then I ended up being in the same group as this guy over here. So that was when I met.
Is that the first time that you noticed me?
Yeah.
When we were in that group working on that orientation project together.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's my. I feel hurt now, yo. I feel hurt because I like always thought that it was like love at first sight, the both of us. Like we just
But I
looked
first
and
have
we
to
knew.
cite you, so I didn't cite you. Oh my god! Oh, and then also let me add
So
something
hurt.
super. Let me add something super important as well. I was in a very toxic relationship with someone who was very toxic, like a liar, would steal my phone, possessive, stole money,
Car.
stole a car, kind of
Stole
stalked
car and
me.
crashed car while it was stolen.
Literally. And
What the?
that's a video for another day.
Yeah.
And,
Dude's gonna catch these hands, dude.
he's gonna catch these
No,
hands.
no.
So yeah, and now I've brought you up from my version to the point where I see him.
For the first time. Let me start you off with my preamble.
Oh, here we
Okay. Number one, I genuinely feel like I don't know if I'm necessarily like a overly like spiritual person, but I generally feel that in some like weird like cosmic way, like the way that I got to you started like years before that. Like I would say like 2007, maybe 2008, which is when I really sort of accidentally fell into like film and filmmaking. So I was supposed to graduate university, at least I thought that I was graduating. Went up to the dean's office. The academic dean's office was like, I'm here to sign like the registration form to attend the graduation. And then my and then the lady basically was like to me, dude, you're not graduating. And I was like, what? And she was like, you're missing 9 general credits. So I had all the credits from like my English degree, but in first and second year, there were classes that I was supposed to take that I never took. And I didn't end up getting those like 9 general credits. So she was like, you're going to have to come back next semester, do 3 classes, but it can be any class that you want. So I was like, all right, what's going to be the easiest thing that I can do right now? And I looked through the catalog and like all these film courses popped up and I was like, boom, I'm going to do that. Like, that looks easy. That is like, you're going to watch movies and like write probably essays about it. Like, that's it. So I took those courses and then like I immediately realized that that's what I was actually supposed to do. Like for the first time in a long time, I like actually had a plan. I was like, brother, that's what you were supposed to do. And it was bleak, yo, because fuck, man, like I was finishing up like the English degree, do you know what I mean? But I desperately wanted to go to film school because that I actually finally figured out what I wanted to study. I started working as a school teacher with the goal that when I had enough money for tuition, I would just go. Like I would drop whatever it is that I was doing and I would go. And that happened, except it happened the year before I actually went. I'd like given in my resignation, like I was about to leave when the principal of the school I was teaching at came. By the way, I was teaching grade 6 and 7. The principal was like, dude, like, can't you stay another year? Because he was retiring, he didn't want to go through the hassle of finding a new teacher, etc., etc. Him and I had a like really good relationship, so I decided to do that, even though like from the minute that I said yes, I would like stay an extra year, it felt like soul crushing, like dream crushing to me. But on the positive side is it meant that me and Khanya ended up being first years together. Like if I'd gone to film school the year before, I don't know if I would have had the same relationship with you, because part of the thing that sort of built our relationship was that we were both those 2 older kids in the same grade, doing the same courses. Like we had a lot of time to actually get to know each other. So I don't think that we would have met if I hadn't stayed that extra year. And I don't think if we would have met if I didn't actually like mess around in my first and second year the first time, to the point where I had to take these extra classes. Do you know what I mean? Like we are getting married now. Like if I think about that, it makes the decision I made in 2007 to like really pursue film like such an important thing, you know?
Also, just to add to that, you know, the like easiest, simplest thing that would have from like my life that would have made us never meet would have been my mom being like, you're crazy, you're not going to Paris.
Yeah, because
the
you
way that
came
I
to
was
Cape.
scouted,
Yeah.
I was uploading images of myself in Paris, and then I was scouted on Facebook because of my images by an agency in Cape Town, and then I left, and that's the only reason I actually left Paris. I had no return ticket. So anyways, so I left, and then I came back down, and I started, and then from the commercial modeling, like I was in adverts and whatnot, then it developed into actual acting in series like Homeland or whatever, and then that developed me wanting to be in the film industry. That's how it happened. And then if I hadn't taken that 1 year at UCT, I would have gone a year earlier than you.
Wow, that's crazy. So, in some weird way, like we both could have ended up at film school the year before we actually came together. Shit was meant to be. If it's meant to be. The part that she doesn't remember that I remember really well. It still hurts. No, because I'm hurt. The part that she doesn't remember that I remember really well is, like, I actually met her probably the second or third day of being in Cape Town. We were both at school. We're sitting around this like round table, and everyone is like sort of talking to you. That part I remember. And when I got there, I didn't actually notice you at first more than I like noticed the group. And I think I actually ended up sitting right next to you.
Yeah.
And everyone was just sort of talking to you. And at one point, like I like looked, and I actually looked, and like what I saw before me was, no, seriously, like when I turned to look at you, I was like holy shit, like I was like wow, like I was like, dude, this girl is unbelievably beautiful.
Thanks, baby.
It's a pleasure, baby. And it was so weird because in any other like circumstance, I would have been in like super nervous and like very like intimidated almost, you know? Mm-hmm. But for some reason, I felt such a strong connection to you. Like, not to say that I like felt like I knew you already, but
felt familiar.
Yeah, there was something that felt super familiar about you. And I couldn't quite put my finger on it. And then eventually I think it was that you were genuinely such a beautiful person. Like the way that you spoke to, just the way that you carried yourself, you know? Oh. And it's weird because the first time you met my mom, like the very first thing that she said to you when you walked through the door was she was like, oh wow, you are such a lady. And like to my mom, that means like that you have a way of carrying yourself which is like graceful but powerful at the same time, you know? And I don't know, I connected to that.
Thanks, baby.
So much so that like I didn't even think about this, I just sort of blurted it out, and I could see how it was super like not inappropriate but like left field. But I said to you, I was like, wow, like in front of everyone, I was like, wow, you were so beautiful. Like you really should take the opportunity here in Cape Town to model. And then everyone laughed because she was already doing that. Like the reason why everyone was talking to her because they recognized her from TV. And I was like the only person that had never seen you before. Like that point, you know? And I felt like a Duas, yo. Like I really felt like such an idiot. But then you were also so graceful with me that, because like you just turned around and you were like, oh wow, like that is such a beautiful thing to say. People in this industry tend not to be as nice as you are or say nice things like that you just said. And like I was like, oh, good books.
I'm in.
Like, no, I made a serious move here.
And guys, just don't forget that at the time I was dating the flu, like an actual virus, like actual virus. So now, he at the time had already made a friend. His name was Cameron, who ended up being part of our squad. So it was me and Sai. Yeah, and then Alano and Cameron, and that became our close knit like group.
Like we were like a squad.
Yeah.
Like literally did everything together.
And the entire time I was still struggling with this crazy person, and then also I was the only girl, so it was 3 guys and it was 1 girl. So can you imagine how crazy it made this already very jealous person that I was dating, already very possessive, jealous person? So things got worse, and worse and worse, and I just didn't care.
I don't know, it was just so bizarre.
I had low self-esteem.
How his sort of energy towards me changed. And Like, I mean, at that point, like, you'd never even considered whether you wanted to date me or not.
No,
like,
not
I
at
peeped
all.
it from, like, the first day. I was like, yo, like, if I get a chance, I'm going to take it.
But now we get to about June, July, and now I'm just like, wait a minute. I'm like it's like starting to look at him in a different way. I'm like, who it is? Like, what's up?
My long game is tight, yo.
Your long
I
game
might
is
not
strong.
be a looker, but, yo, bro,
Your long
like,
game is
yo,
strong.
if you get to know me.
And then I broke up with this guy in a very like deep way. Like I had to call security on him. He tried to grab my car. Like it was wild. And I agreed to meet him in a public place because he was going on about closure, whatever. Plus I was a clown, so I was so. So I put on my fucking red nose and I went to go meet him at a public place, and he stole my phone there. When you are in a bad situation and you get out of it, you want to spread your wings and fly. Guys, I spread my wings and I broke them. I was wildin'.
Yeah.
Like
And the funny thing is that we were wilding together.
Yeah, so me and the squad.
Oh,
because
dude, the squad was everywhere. What eventually happened is that she knew everything about me. Like, the good things, the bad things.
And vice versa.
Like, there was no game left to play.
Yeah.
Like,
It was just
if
honest.
I was trying to get with Khanya, there was no game that I could play to get with her because she had read the playbook.
I helped co-write
She helped
it.
co-write it. Like, she published the blueprint. She was like, my dude, like, do this. And I was like... So the only game that was left to play was actually just honesty, hey?
Yeah.
Like... And it's so weird because ever since then, like, that's been one of the big things about, like, our relationship is just... Even to the point, if we have to be brutally honest, like, then
What we have
so
to
be
do.
it.
Yeah.
And our relationship started, like, our romantic relationship started on that specific place.
Foundation, yeah.
Because it was the only thing left to do was to just be honest about everything.
Yeah.
And we grew, like, super close during that time. But every time we would be out, like, there would be a moment, at least in my head, like, I feel like that guy from You now, but, like, there'd be a moment in my head where I would look at you and you would look at me and I would be like, dude, something is going on here. Like, I would be like, something like, I'm catching a vibe. Like, I'm catching a legit vibe. She denies it, yo, but I'm telling you, I
don't.
saw those eyes, yo.
I don't deny it. After June was when I started throwing those eyes, and then and listen, I was picking up whatever you were putting down. So
And Silas was the one that kept, like,
Silas
he
saw.
kept coming into me, like, my ear and be like, dude, like, just kiss her, man. Like, just go up there and just give her a kiss. She likes you, you like her, I can tell. But he kept doing it, and it got to a point where one night we were all supposed to hang out together, and Silas was the one that actually planned it. Except when we all got to the restaurant, no one had showed except for you and me. I like looked at it, like, when I went home that day, I was like, damn, it was a good date.
that was not a date. He hadn't that was not a date.
I was like, yo, that was a good date.
We were strictly friends.
Doesn't matter. Like, when I went home, I was like, that was a good date.
No.
Because you were giving me the eyes that night as
Nope.
well.
Nope.
Give me
I
the
remember
eyes,
that night.
give me the lips. I was like,
sir. So that sort of kept happening, and then at some, by the way, and I mean it kept happening. Like, we had a beer tour thing, beer tasting
Yeah,
thing.
you're right.
No one pitches again except for you and
Except
I.
for me and you.
And then they come like 3 hours late, and I'm just like, whatever. So it kept happening. And then
that was a good date too.
That wasn't a date. That was
Okay,
not
try and
a
convince me.
date.
Look at my face. Look at my face. Try and convince me.
That wasn't a
otherwise.
date. So then,
Date. It was a good date.
and then I don't know when things escalated, but I remember we were all playing pool
I
at Stones.
On Lower Main in Obs.
Yeah.
It was after 12. You were wearing
Oh
this,
my
like,
God.
red, I don't know if it's a tank top, but, like, your belly button was showing.
Crop top.
A crop top. It was like,
I was
I
speeding.
think it was like, I think the thing said, like, USA on it as well.
No, it didn't. It had a gold eagle badge over here.
Maybe that's what I
was
was
a gold
thinking.
thing,
But
yeah.
I got, like, super, like, American vibe. I was like, stars and stripes. Yeah. But anyway, she had, like, this thing on, like, cute little belly button, nice little figure. I remember the blue jeans that you wore. I remember the white sneakers that you wore. Like, I just remember being like, yo, like, if ever something was gonna go down, like it was gonna go down now. And then Silas was also with me, and he was like, dude, like, you need to just do it. Like, he was like, grow some balls and just do it. And like, I don't know why, but it clicked in my head. But the next thing I know, like, I walked straight up to Khanya, like, said something to her. I forgot what I said, but the next thing I know, like, straight up just kissing. And I remember, like, I remember feeling like this is like the best thing that's happened to me in like a long ass time.
Baby.
No, seriously.
You're so cute.
I remember thinking that at the time. And that's really like, we were still sort of friends after that, but like then it was like friends with the occasional hookup here. You know
Parents,
what I mean?
watch this.
And then like after a while, I remember one day like I was at your house and I just sort of looked at you and I was like, yo, like, let's just like make it official. I think those are my exact words to you.
We were making the bed, and then he just decided that was the right moment to be like, can we like make this
Like
official?
as we're making the bed.
Yeah.
I needed to show her that I knew how to do that kind of stuff. Like my long game was tough.
Thank you for watching, you guys. We'll see you in the next video.
Is that it?
That's it.
Okay, give me a kiss.
Mwah.
Love you, baby. My wife. Love you, my wife.
Love you, baby.